let me say that all of God's creation was magnificent. They were undescribable. They were unique, only one of its kind. They were the original. After all this, God is about to bring into existence his greatest creation, yet mankind. Every other species that God called into existence, it is recorded that he did not confer with any other, but simply said, let there be, and there was. But now, as God is about to bring mankind into existence, he said to the other, let us make man. It is said that he was conferring with the Godhead. How was God to make man? He was to make man in his image and in his likeness. This man would be more intelligent than all of the other animals. He would be unique. He would be superior. He would have reasoning. He would have free will. And he would have emotion. This man would be given dominion over the fish of the sea, the fowls of the air, dominion over all the cattle and everything that creepeth, and over the beasts of the field. God would have created man and gave him dominion. Dominion simply means the right to rule over. When God gave man dominion, this was the foundation of divine delegation of responsibility for the management and rulership over the earth. God established man as the only legal authority on earth with the power of attorney to act on his behalf. Isn't that awesome? When God gave man dominion, he gave man the authority to act on his behalf on the earth. In the center of the garden, man gave up all his sovereign rights. He lose his position and disposition. He transferred his responsibility. He lost dominion over nature. As a result, man was introduced to shame. He was introduced to self-consciousness. He was introduced to fear and intimidation. He was introduced to frustration, failure, hatred of labor. He was introduced to pain and discomfort. Man has been distracted from the intended purpose that God had created him for. Understand that man was created to rule, not to be ruled. Can I say it again? Man was created to rule, not to be ruled. We got too many men these days that being ruled. They say what their wife say to say. Huh? They do what their wife say to do. Huh? Lord have mercy. Any of them fellas in here? Huh? Lord have mercy. But too much of us are being ruled instead of we being rulers. There is no doubt that there has been a conspiracy from the beginning of time orchestrated by the enemy to destroy mankind, God's greatest creation. The enemy is out to destroy that with God Know that the enemy is after the male seed. His agenda is to kill, steal, and destroy. If you understand history, we can find that he used the king of Egypt, to kill all the male children. He used King Herod to kill all the male children. The enemy creates wars to kill the male. It has been noted this morning that in our very own country, every single day there is a murder. And the murder is not woman, the murder is of a man. That is a plan of the enemy to kill the seed that God had placed in the earth for authority. Woman ain't killing woman, man killing man. And those who kill man, they end up incarcerated in prison. All their rights and all their freedom have gotten taken away from them. And so, in essence, Satan has got them to the place where they become powerless. That is his aim. That is his object. But we need men today in this society who will stand up and who will fight. Because real men fight. As a man, we are in a fight. We are engaged in a constant battle against the forces of hell. But real men, they fight. To the neighbor, real men fight. In our today's society, men are facing many challenges. Men have it difficult today. There are so many things that are stacked against the man gender in this season. One of the challenges that men often face is he trying to find himself. Men are often bombarded to stand up as a man. We hear it all the time. Men are challenged most of the time. They're challenged to be a man. They are challenged as a man to show authority. But when he takes a stand, when he stands in his authority, and he executes his God-given authority, society says he is astonished. And so what are he to do? In this 21st century, man finds it difficult to play his role as the king, as the protector, as the priest, and as the provider. Many times he is left confused because society has introduced what they call gender equality and women's lib. And so when he tries to do it, women say, I don't need you to. Women no longer need men as a protector or a provider. Tell you one time before, that the women now, they are the ones who are carrying the guns. Women police officers. They are the ones who are toting the weapons, and so they are protecting you. You married to a police officer, you feel safe. Mr. Administrator, if I had a woman who brings a gun at home, I can't work with no burglar. And so women are pulling guns as though they are becoming the protector. Women are becoming the provider. Most cases, they are the ones that are bringing home the bacon, the pork, the eggs, and everything else. most cases they say, I don't need you to provide for me. Huh? And so they become career oriented, and they become women who makes money and makes more money than the men. Ooh, Jesus. When you need money, you gotta ask your wife, I mean, can I get one $30? Lord have mercy. Women are becoming self-sufficient, moving away from what God had deemed it to be so. What are men to do? When society takes away the dominion rights that God has given them. And the problem is they refuse to fight for it. How do we feel? How do men feel staying at home, watching television, while your wife goes out to work, bring home the money, paying the bills? We home watching television, talking about we can't find nothing to do. We can't find no job. And then she said, that's all right, honey. That's all right, honey. I'm working, I'll help with it. Are you okay with that? So get off your lazy butt. There got to be something you can do. Right? But we, as men, we are left confused. What are we to do? Because society is turning everything around that God had implemented in the earth. But we need some real men that's going to fight for it. The book of Ezekiel 22, verse 30, God said this, and I sought for a man among them that would make up the hedge and stand in the gap before me for the land that I should not destroy it. And God said, but I found none. Man in that sad situation. And God is looking for the man to stand, looking for the man to fight. And God said, I don't see any of them. Where can we find them? On the blocks. Huh? Where can we find them? Places where they ought not to be. God is looking for the men of this season. Where are they? No wonder why women are dominating every organization, including the church. Including the church. We got more women in church than we've got men. I guarantee you, you go in every office in the complex, there is more women in those offices than there are men. But minister, if you got two men in there, you got plenty. And so women are dominating because the men, where are they? Ooh, Jesus. Can I dare say that in this season God is looking for that real man who will stand in the gap, that real man who will prepare to fight, because real men fight. This season we need some real men who are not only dressed for the fight, but who are prepared to fight. It's okay to be dressed for the fight, but you got to prepare to fight. Some fellow men who will wrestle, ready to fight. Real men fights. Real men fights. You must be reminded that in this season, men are under attack. Real men fight. Real men fight for his identity, to know who we are. Real men fight for the positive change. He fights for godly value. He fights for righteous living. Real men fight for the family. Real man fights for his family. I ain't talking about these wannabe men. These sperm donors. We ain't talking about them. They drop and go. They drop and go. But we talking about men, real men who fights for their family. When the enemy comes against their family, they know how to fight. They get in a fighting position of prayer, and they pray for the family. They war for the family. They battle for the family. They fight for the family. They command the enemy to leave the family. When the enemy comes against your son and try to mess up your son, you know how to get in the fighting position. Instead of you complaining, I don't know what's wrong with this boy. I don't know what's wrong with him. Get in a fighting position and fight. Is a real man who are prepared to fight. Because real man fight against the erosion of the family. We need those real men. Real men fight the battle of life. They don't pass the fight on to somebody else. They don't find excuses why not to fight. They don't walk away from their responsibility, but they fight. They fight. Man, some of you are fighting demons in yourself. Demons of pornography. That spirit of rejection. That demon of lust. You're fighting. You're fighting. You're fighting. But no matter how the enemy stands against you, you better fight. Because he comes to destroy your life. And so you got to stand up and fight. Too many men are hiding from the fight. And there's a he don't mean me. I'm going to touch your neighbor and say, he don't mean me. They are hiding from the fight. Too many men are running away from the fight. Too many men are running away from the conflict of the fight. But real men, they don't run away. Real men, they don't hide. Real men, they fight. We're not the society who are growing up a bunch of punks. Are we breeding a bunch of punks? Where you got two women in the house? Ooh, Jesus. I know we're fastly been exposed to all these things, and they're now advancing this gay thing and all, and LGBT and all this stuff, right? Whereby we are taught what's a man and a man no more. They say they come out the closet. Ooh, Jesus. Huh? Are we raising a bunch of men who are scared? You can't be scared to fight. If you're afraid to fight, then you're going to lose everything. We got to be the one that takes the authority. Lord have mercy. Real men don't run from their responsibility. Real men don't run away. But real men stand and fight. You cannot be dressed for the fight and not fight. You got to fight and fight and fight and fight. God has given you the advantage for the fight. And so you can fight. Hear me today, men of valor. If you do not fight, you will lose the family. The devil will kill them. If you don't fight for your daughters, the enemy will destroy them. You better. Man, listen here, you better protect your young daughters. Fight for your young daughters. Because they are being exposed to all kinds of things. And you need to fight for them. That when the enemy exposes them, they will not be destroyed. But if you are one of them fellas who, yes, so well, let mommy do it all. I ain't got time to worry about that. You will lose your daughters to the enemy. If you don't fight for your sons, the devil will destroy them. They gonna come home one day with a different mindset and with a different attitude. You don't fight for them. They gonna come home one day dressing like they ain't supposed to dress. Lord have mercy. And the next thing you know, you got trouble on your hands. You got trouble on your hands because your good son now switches over. And he won't wear what you wearing. He want his whole gender genes begin to switch. Because we're fighting. We're leaving our sons exposed to the elements. We're leaving our sons exposed to a dangerous society where the society tells them, boy, ain't nothing wrong with being feminine, ain't nothing wrong with being gay, it's your preference. If that's what you want to do, then that's your choice. Society will fashion our children how they want if we are not fighting for our children. A time ago in schools, they had values in the educational system. Now they do not have values anymore in the educational system because the enemy has infiltrated the school system from the teachers to everybody else. And now they're teaching these strange things. Your child who you taught the Bible to for years now comes home and are questioning the Word of God. While we scouring off someplace, afraid to fight, not fighting. Real men will fight. When you see the enemy raising his hand, you know how to deal with it. You know how to fight for it and fight for your children, that your children, God made them man and they will stay man. They won't come home and just do it out there. God made them women and they will stay women. Introducing them. This is my friend. Lord have mercy. I gotta quit. If you do not fight for the next generation, they will be in trouble, man. How are we contented not to fight? How are we contented to turn a blind eye? But we got to fight. Who is going to fight? Who is going to fight? We got some young boys coming up. Those of you that are adult men who are going to fight for the young boys of our community. Man, listen, even Stevie Wonder can see they are in trouble. Huh? We don't fight for them, we're going to lose them. We're going to lose them. Stevie Wonder can see they're in trouble. And you can't see that? Got two good eyes. Jesus. Our next generation will be lost while we are too coward to fight, or too unconcerned to fight, or by our own selfish agenda to fight. We got time for it. Reverend Strong had initiated the Joshua army, where we're trying to mentor the young boys. We're trying to change the direction and fix the direction where they ought to go. And from he started it, some of y'all ain't never been there yet. Some of y'all older men have not been there yet to see what he's doing and to give your support. Shame on you. You got time to mow your yard? I tell y'all I was gonna do this. All right? You got time to mow your yard? You got time to clean your car? But you ain't got time to come and mentor these young boys. You talking about you fighting? Real men fight. Real men take the time out to fight. Clean your car early on Saturday so it could be here for 4 o'clock. Mow your yard early on Saturday so it could be here for 4 o'clock. Just come and support and help steer these young men. They need you. The devil tell you you ain't got to do it. Huh? Oh, Jesus. We got to fight. Fight for them. Fight for them. Wake up, man. The battle is real. The fight is real. I tell you, if you don't fight for them, you're going to lose them. Then you're going to need them same women to protect you from them breaking in your house. Ooh, Jesus. We are in the fight. And we, men, listen here, we've got to fight. We've got to fight for these our young boys. Look at the young boys that we have, right? Look at all of these young boys in the community. Look at the young boys in the school. They're stabbing one another. They are trying to kill each other from a young age. The enemy is messing with their minds. Why are you too busy? Why are you too busy? Why you are too busy with your own stuff, your own agenda? Let this day be the day of change. Let this day be the day of change, man, where we now, as we are dressed for the fight, with the whole armor of God, we fight. Don't make sense getting dressed up and not fight. I tell you again, if you don't fight, the enemy will destroy them. Paul says, when you would have done all to stand, what you got to do? Still stand. The fighting, you see, the fighting won't be easy. Nobody said it was easy. That's why God had given us some stuff to make the fight on a level playing field. And to make the fight fix. It's not easy. Sometimes you ain't going to understand it. But Paul said, when you have done all this, stand and fight. Whatever you do, no retreat. And do surrender. You have the weapons of your warfare that are not carnal, but that are mighty through God. Mighty through God. Mighty through God. There are some strongholds that are holding on to our children. Ooh, Jesus. That's why they come home with all these spirits and come home with all these demons. And that's why they come home and they got this crazy talk. That's why they involved with stuff that they can't let go. Strongholds. But the weapons God give you. The weapons God give you. I know men don't like to pray, but it's praying time. Men don't like to praise, but it's praising time. The weapons of your warfare now. Not carnal, but mighty through God for the pulling down of strongholds and casting down every imagination and everything that exalted itself above the knowledge of God. That's what God gives you. In this hour, as I close, real man fights. Real man fights. Real man fights. Not them wins. Not them what you call